Okay, quickly mark 3A and B. You guys, mark these. Christopher, Paul, Raphael. Okay, come back. Yeah. Hano. There any questions at 3A or B? B. Okay, now, what might have confused you at B is that is actually 3 divided by -3. But the -3 is one thing. So it looks like this. X divided by -3 is equal to 12. Okay? Now what I want to do is take that over. So then X is alone here. 12 was on that side. The division becomes multiplication, but that stays -3. Okay, so that might have been where you went wrong.
Oh, so it doesn't change the plus.
No, it's not like the division and the... It's not that division and the minus is going to change. It's only division changes to multiplication. It's just that we were dividing with a negative number. It's not dividing and subtracting 3. All right. Okay. Any other questions here? Yes.
So it had to be a negative.
Yes, it had to be a negative. Can I quickly skip?
Yes.
I'm going to come back just now. Just quickly copy that.
Mama, please don't.
Okay, right.
So,
So, hold on. Yeah. See? No, explain it.
and I put the two.
Yeah, you did show me that. Then it's fine, yeah?
And then, but then, isn't the answer 8?
No. Uh-uh.
How come?
I'll do that one for you separately. Yep. Okay, right. So let's quickly have a look at D. First things first, the red. Please remember that you will see that I circled that around. I can't take that 6 over yet because that 6 is actually 6 over 2. Do you guys agree? And you will see that better when I do this one, where I break it up first. No, so you could have done that option too. So please remember you can't take that 6 over. So what I had to do here is this divided by 2. I first got rid of that. So if I take it over, it becomes times 2. No. And now minus 1 times 2 will give me minus 2. And now I can take that minus 6 over. So it will become plus 6. And minus 2 plus 6 gives me 4. Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you're right, because I didn't put the minus. I put it plus.
Oh, okay. Okay. Or look at the right-hand side, that purple one. What I did is I said x over 2 minus 6 over 2. Can you see that? I broke it up. No. Okay, and then you will see that that 6 over 2 is actually 3. And now some kids like taking it from there. They say, okay, minus 3 I want to take over, so it will become plus 3. And minus 1 plus 3 gave me 2. And now this is x divided by 2. So I get rid of that divided by 2. So I take it over and it becomes times 2. And 2 times 2 gives me 4. Okay. So either one of those two options you could have used. All right. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No. Good. Can I skip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's look at E and F. These were the most difficult ones. Okay. Sorry, I know it looks very bad, but at E, you would see that your denominators are 2 and 4, and this denominator is actually 1. So between the 2 and the 4 and the 1, my lowest common denominator would be 8. It's not wrong if you did 12. No, that's fine. So what I then did is, yeah, it can be 4 too. Yeah, that's actually quicker.
Yeah, ma'am.
But your answer will still be 11. All right. So I made the lowest common denominator 8, which means that over here I had to multiply with 4. And if I do it at the bottom, I also have to do it at the top. And that's where this one comes from. Okay. Then the next one. My denominator was 4, so I times by 2, which means that I've got to do the same at the top. And if I multiply that, it would be 2 times the bracket. Waarmee is jy besig, Rafael? Okay. But then over here, I had to multiply with 8, and if I do it at the bottom, I must also do it at the top. So that's going to give me 8. No. Okay. Now from there, I'm going to multiply in. So the 4 times 2x gave me 8x. 4 times minus 3 gave me minus 12. Then minus 2 times 3x gave me minus 6x. And minus 2 times 1 gave me minus 2. From there, it was normal taking unknowns to the left, normal numbers to the right, and then get rid of your coefficient. Okay. Right, quickly copy down E and F, and then I'll answer questions about F just now.
What if you got it right, bro?
Okay. If you got it right, great, wonderful. Yeah.
I made the 2 equal to 0.
Number 1. Oh, wat verkies hulle gemaak? Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, I got that because this is also did it an example. But when you get the help angle of when you do the shift 10, 0, then you get 0.
Ja, want kyk as jy kry jy nou.
Which ma'am?
Ja.
0, ma'am. I just know that this is where it cuts and then it disappears.
Okay, but even though it gives me 0, okay, we know that because that is an asymptote. It can't happen, it's undefined.
So because
So if-
undefined here
Yes,
and here, you put it in here.
Yeah.
So then in the, because 10 is not positive in the, that's your second guess.
Ja, is eintlik mos tussen jou eerste en jou tweede. Dis anderdag. Nee. Did you guys all copy here? Okay, quick, but quiet. Okay, so daai is reg en toe moet jy ook gehad hê. Nou, plus 340 en ja. Jy moet jou goedjies hier byskryf, hè. En is 'n element.
Oh man, so
Jy moet byskryf. O, jy het hom nie opgeskryf. Okay. En dan 180 plus. Nou kom, wat het jy hier gesê? Gaan dit oorsin?
Yes, ma'am. Or do you only do one column?
Jy het gesê, sin is in die positief en dis in die eerste en in die tweede. Nee, jy kan eintlik maar daai net gegee, but it's just it wasn't necessary, that's all.
So do you only have to do one?
Daai is reg. Okay, en dan 2. Kijk, dit is daar gaan gelijk maak van 0. 46 en minus 10. 46 is 0. Oh, jy het hom net so gehou, dis dieselfde. Okay. Nee, kyk wat doen jy hier? Are you taking this one over?
I took the 1 over.
But then it will be minus that. Sien, so eintlik moet dit wees positive sign, positive 1. So dat gaan hierdie nou net verander, né? Okay. Daai moet net gaan regmaak. En as kos 1 is, as kos 0 is, waar kry jy 0?
Ma'am, I don't know. I think I might have put in some.
Because that must be 90. Okay. So it is die, and on quadrant 4 it would be the 360 minus 90, but the rest is fine, yeah. And yeah, you must just work with a positive one. Okay. Good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, yellow. Let me explain F quickly. Right, so, dis nou wat jy gesit het, né? Okay, so if my denominators were 3 and 4 and 2, and this is actually 1. So the lowest common denominator, I'm going to make 12, okay? Or, you'll see that I say, you can just as well say times 12. Same thing, né? Okay, so, to make this first one, 12 at the bottom, I had to multiply with 4. So I do the same at the top.
Can't you take the 3, put it there, front, there,
Where in front? Yeah.
yeah.
No. Why are you taking it from the bottom of the fraction to the top all of a sudden?
It's gonna be wrong.
How do you want to you want to write the 3 in front there?
Yeah, and then like when you put all,
No.
it's gonna be wrong.
Yeah, it's going to be wrong. Okay, so does everyone get where I get that from? Okay, the second term, I had to multiply with 3 to get 12 at the bottom. So I've got to do the same at the top. And 3 times 3 gives me 9. Okay, then after the equal sign, my denominator was 12, 2. I've got to make it 12, so, oopsie. So I'm going to multiply with 6. And if I do it at the bottom, I've got to do it at the top. So that's where I get 3 times 6 times the bracket. You guys must stop me if you're unsure. Right, then the last one, my denominator was 1, so I had to multiply with 12. And if I do it at the bottom, I must also do it at the top. And 3 times 12 gives me 36. Okay, so any questions up until there? Yes.
See, by 3 over 4. You times by 3, and what you do at the bottom, you do at the top, right?
Yeah.
Then how come does the answer become 9 by 4 times 3?
No. We don't write the bottom part. Everything at the bottom, it would have been this over 12, that over 12, this over 12. But because everyone is 12 at the bottom, we basically just look at what's at the top. Yeah. So that 9 is from the 3 times 3. Yeah. Okay. Right. So now, people, I'm going to multiply in. So 8 times this x gave me 8x, and 8 times minus 1 gave me the minus 8. Okay. Then our second bracket, the 3 times 6 gives me 18. Now 18 times 2x gives me the 36x, and 18 times 3 gives me the 54. Okay. Right, so this lab, yeah. Okay, what I did here is all I did is simplify. The 8x stays 8x, minus 8 minus 9 becomes minus 17. 36 stays 36x, and then 54 minus 36 becomes 18. All right, I simplified so that it looks better. Otherwise, it's too much, right? Now I take unknowns to the left, normal numbers to the right. So 8x minus that 36x gave me minus 28x. Okay, normal numbers to the right, which means that I have 18, and this minus 17 goes over, so it becomes plus 17, and that's how I get 35. Okay. Now I want to get rid of that coefficient of negative 28, and this is now the same as what we had just now. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 28, and that's how I get 35 over negative 28, and that simplified gave me minus 5 over 4. Okay. The 35 is positive over negative 28. Okay. Can I skip?
So how many marks did you get to right now?
5. Right, can I skip? Then number 4, we haven't marked. Quickly mark. Yeah. C. That must be a plus because minus 2 times x minus 2x minus 2 times minus 1 positive 2. Do you understand why? Okay. And then minus 2x. If I take the 4x over, it becomes minus 4x. And then this was minus 16. And that comes over minus 6. That comes over and becomes minus. If it was a plus, it becomes a minus. Yeah. But you made a few mistakes up until here. That's why it ended up to be the same thing. Okay. Right. Yeah.
See, by seeing that grade 6 minus 2 and then x minus 1. Oh, man, like you see, they the ones. How do you become like plus 2?
Okay. Have a look. First things first. Do not simplify that yet. Why not? Because only the minus 2 applies to the bracket. The 6, you'll see, stays on its own. So minus 2 times x gave me minus 2x. Minus 2 times minus 1 became a positive 2.
So like the 2, only the 2 applies because it's closer to the bracket.
Yes, yeah. But not just 2, minus 2. Because the sign is attached to that 2. Yeah. Okay. Theo, your hand was up too? Same thing. Okay. Anyone else? Right, can I skip? Wie skryf nog? Okay. Tell me when you're done. Kan ek maar skip? Okay, there's D and 5A. Sparadine. Okay. Did you make the same mistake here? At D. Yeah, what did you do? Yeah? Oh, you did this. Have a look at your signs, né? Because it's a simple mistake, but it costs you a lot of marks. Okay, people, any questions at D? Yeah. Yes. So at D, we first, our step number 1 was use BODMAS to simplify. So meaning get rid of the brackets first. Right? Okay. So 2 times 2x gave me that 4x. 2 times at 9 gave me the 18. Now, minus 2 times x gives me minus 2x. En dis teen nou hier waar jy die fout gemaak het. Minus 2 times positive 3 will give you minus 6. Did you have minus 6 there? Okay. Equal to x plus 11. And now here, minus 5 must be multiplied in. Yeah, take. Minus 5 times 4 gives me minus 20. And minus 5 times minus x gives me positive 5x. Okay? Then, all I want to do now is simplify on both sides a bit so it looks better. So 4x minus 2x gave me 2x. And 18 minus 6 gave me this 12. Okay, let's look at the right-hand side. So x plus 5x gave me 6x. And 11 minus 20 gave me minus 9. You fine with that? Okay, now from there, I'm going to take unknowns to the left, normal numbers to the right. So that one has got to move over. So it will be 2x minus 6x, and that's how I get the minus 4x. Okay, then this 12 has got to move over. So it will be minus 9 minus 12, and that gives me the minus 21. Are you fine with that? See, okay? Okay, and then I just got to get rid of that minus 4, so I divide by minus 4. I'm dividing by my coefficient, and that's where I get positive 21 over positive 4. Because a negative over a negative, they're going to cancel out, no? So then it's eventually a positive answer. Okay. Any questions at 5A? Good. There's B and C. I'm going to give you guys time to copy down first and see where you went wrong, and then I'll answer questions. Kan ek maar skip? Any questions at B? Okay. Right, so C, my denominators were 4 and 2 and 8, and this is a denominator of 1. Right? So what would be my lowest common denominator? 8. Okay, so in order for me to make this 8, I had to times 2 at the bottom here which means at the top I also multiply with 2. Now, right, then in the second term, I have to multiply with 4 here to get at 8. So at the top also multiply with 4. That's where I get the 4x from. All right, any questions there? Okay, then this one already has 8, so you'll see I use the x plus 2 just like it is. And then minus 1 times 8 will give me minus 8. Okay, then from there, I've got to go and multiply in. So 2 times x gave me 2x, and 2 times 3 gave me 6. Okay, now simplify a bit. So 2x minus 4x gave me this minus 2x. And on the right-hand side, x stays x, and then plus 2 minus 8 will give me minus 6. Okay, then from there, I took unknowns to the left, so this one has got to move over. So it's going to become minus x. And so minus 2x minus another x gave me minus 3x. Okay. Then this 6 has got to move over, so that will become minus 6. So minus 6 minus another 6 will become minus 12. And now I've got to get rid of that minus 3 in front. So basically I divide both sides by minus 3. And on the left-hand side, I'll get x. And minus 12 divided by minus 3 gives me a positive 4. Okay, yeah. How to get to the second step. Okay, so I had fractions here. There was a denominator of 6 and a denominator of 2. So the lowest common denominator, I'm going to make 6. No, but an alternative is to say times 6. So which means I'm going to multiply every single term with 6. So this, if I multiply that with 6, I'll only have x. Do you understand, or must I show that? Okay, so it was x over 6, no? If I multiply that with 6, 6 is the same as 6 over 1. And what's going to happen is these two will cancel out. So then I just have x over 1, which is basically x. Now, okay, then if I multiply the x with 6, I get 6x. The 2 times 6, 12. X times 6, 6x. And now this one I'll show as well. You had 5 over 2. So if I multiply that with 6 over 1, what's going to happen is 2 will go in once, 2 will go in 3 times. And 5 times 3 gives me that 50. Okay. Are you fine with that? Yeah. Yeah.
Minus 3x got minus 12. Now, in order to get the full, I now it's
You're fine. The minus is not going to... Any other questions? Right. There is D. Ja, maar ek het eers baie werk wat ek gaan moet klaarmaak. Right, you guys, at that very first step of D, you will see that in the first step, I just rewrote what we had in a different way, right? So it was 3/4 times this bracket. So all I did is I put it all in the form of a fraction. So have a look. There's my 3/4 still times the bracket. Do you see that? Okay. And then same thing here. instead of a half times 2x plus 4, there's actually a 1 here. So there, half times the bracket. Does everyone see that? Now, why did I go write it like that? Because I want to see what my denominators would be throughout. Because now I can see denominators 4 and 4 and 2. Do you see it? So now lowest common denominator would then be 4. Okay, now this first one, denominator was already 4. So I can just look at what's at the top. So that stays the same. Same thing here. Denominator was 4, so it stays the minus 9. The only thing that's actually going to change here is that this one, I still got to go multiply with 2. So I have to multiply it with 2 at the top as well. Does everyone get it up until there? Okay. Then from there, I had to go and multiply in. So 3 times the 3x gave me 9x. And 3 times the minus 5 gave me minus 15. Same thing here. That had to be multiplied in. And then from there, unknowns to the left, normal numbers to the right. Okay, laat ek hoor. Any questions? Okay, can I skip? No one's still copying? Okay, right. Now we're busy with equations with exponents. Now, people, I need you to remember all those rules that we did on the chapter of exponents right back in term 1. No? Okay, so at example 1, I said 2 to the power of x is equal to 8. Now, whenever your unknown is the exponent, your very first thing that you're going to do is get your bases the same. Okay, now what is base again? It's this number at the bottom. So on the left-hand side, you've got 2 to the power of x. So that is my clue, that on the right-hand side, I also want 2 to the power of something. So that 8 is the same as 2 to the power of 3. Because 2 times 2 times 2. Do you remember? Okay, so 2 to the power of 3. Now you will see. Have a look. Los gedaai. Kykie. Do you guys see that base is 2 on both sides? Now, because base is the same, remember I've got an equal sign here, meaning it's telling me that the left-hand side is the same as the right-hand side. No? So because bases are the same, I can only go look at exponents, meaning x will be equal to 3. You good with that?
That's basically that.
That's it, yes. Okay, now example 2.
It's boring.
I need that to be a base of 5 on the right-hand side as well. But because it's a fraction, it's making it difficult. So I'm going to show you 2 methods. Method 1 is where I keep it in the fraction and I change the bottom part. So 5 to the power of x is 1 over, and instead of 125, I write 5 to the power of 3. Good. Now, think back to when we did exponents, because my bases are not yet the same here, because the 1 is still in the form of a fraction. But what happens if I want to take this and move it to the top? What will happen? The exponent will become a negative. Not the base, the exponent. So that will then become 5 to the power of negative 3. Because I moved it to the other side of the fraction, the exponent will become a negative. No. Okay, and now you'll see 5 to the power of. 5 to the power of. So bases are the same. So now I can only look at exponents. So x will be minus 3. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you an alternative method. One of the kids in the other class said they want to first change that. Now, 1 over 125 is the same as 125 to the power of minus 1. Nay. Okay, and then he said, okay, let's make that 125. 125 is the same as 5 to the power of 3. And now, what happens to the power to the power? Multiply, so then it's to the power of minus 3. Same thing, ne?
The other one is easier.
Which one, red or green?
Green.
Okay, so if you prefer red, then you do that. Ne? Both of them are correct. Okay, any questions? Wat gaan julle nie nou warm kry nie? Okay, can I skip? Anyone still? Oh, you still copying? Come, we got 3 more slides to go.
3 more.
Look at the bottom. Oh, you can't see it. 14 of 17. You done? Hands up, you're still copying? Done. Nee, hulle moet nie kyk nie. Okay, right. The first example 3. 10 to the power of x is equal to 0,001. Now, whenever you get a decimal, what's the first thing that we do? Write it in a fraction. Okay, so that is the same as 10 to the power of x is equal to, and what would that be in the fraction? How do I do that? We cheat by using our calculator. So kyk gou, put in 0,001 equal, yes, 1 over 1,000. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more examples. So I'm going to stop there. Julle is baie lucky you guys don't have homework for the weekend.